Hi everyone, welcome back to Unpopular Opinion. I'm Alberto, it's late night here in Italy, and today we're gonna see what are the Sharia Councils in England, how they work, and what is their impact in the British society. First, I want to say that the population of Muslim in the United Kingdom is the 6%, but in London it reaches the 15%. That it's a consistent part of the population. That's why they created these Sharia kind of tribunals that they reflect what would happen in a state with the Sharia law. Now, I wanna show you from a neutral perspective how they work and what's their nature, how they impact on the lives of the Muslim people in England. But of course, this is just the data, and then you can of course comment with your opinion about that. Okay, let's start with saying what are the Sharia tribunals that are actually called Sharia Councils. And they are this British organization that even if they don't have any legal power, they cannot enforce decisions of the tribunals in England. They cannot override UK courts, but they can offer some rulings that even if you don't have to follow them legally, they can have an impact, of course, on the society of Muslim in England, that they will follow these decisions for, of course, religious reasons. Okay, now I would like to take a few minutes to talk about the divorce and how it works according to the Sharia law. Basically, there are two kinds of divorce according to the Sharia. One is the Khula, that it's when it's the woman that decides to divorce. And then there is the Talaq, that is when it's the man that makes this decision. Now, it works in a different way according to which one is asking the divorce, because while in the talaq, so when it's the man that it's making the decision, this is a unilateral act, so that's it. There is no way to answer that, and there are no consequences. With the Khula, so when it's the woman, basically first, in the Islamic countries that they follow the Sharia, it's not a unilateral decision like in the Western countries. So in the most of countries, so it's not that you can say I decide to divorce. No, you have to ask the permission to your husband to divorce. That it's a little funny, and or you can ask the tribunal. That of course is consisting of men, so I don't think that the decision will change a lot. And in any case, you can do it only when there is a good reason for doing that. And then they have to return the dowry. So the money that mostly the family of the, since in this culture it's the man that is dealing with the money, and the woman has to return the dowry to the man. And this can create some kind of imbalance in the England, because if there is the tribunal, the UK court that decides something, then this couple of Muslim, they can go to the Sharia Council that can take a different decision. This is, for example, even about the kids. Okay, if they decide that for some reason the husband is not sane enough to get to look after the kids, actually this is a case that actually happened. At the end in the Sharia tribunal, they decided that even if the husband was mentally insane, he had to take care to look after the kids while the woman could not see them. Okay, and this is a little unfair, and it doesn't answer the law of England. Now, I don't know what happened in the end, but this is kind of a problem, because if you have a law that decides in a particular way, and then there is another tribunal where people are actually volunteering. I mean, they are voluntarily deciding to follow that other rule. So then they can ask, okay, the UK court to change their decision because they give more importance to what the Sharia tribunal says. This can create a little imbalance between between the people that are following the United Kingdom law and people that are following the Sharia tribunals. Of course, they are doing by their own choice, so they are not forced to accept. But I mean, we have to consider that in some cases, maybe women are not actually deciding to withstand that court, but they are, it's something imposed to them. And then there are the fatwas that are basically opinions. Again, they are not at least in the United Kingdoms, they are not legally they don't work legally, but at the same time it's something that comes from the religion. So these people sometimes they prefer to follow them. They don't go necessarily against the England law, but at the same time they can disagree in some aspects, and this can create again an imbalance between who's following which law, no matter what is more important. These decisions are mostly about the finance, so about what to do with the money, even between not only in a family, but between two companies, two people that someone borrow money from someone else, or they lend money to someone else. And even in this case, there is not an England law that will decide who's right, who's not, who has to give money back to the other, but it's the Sharia tribunal that will make this decision, and they have to follow it for, as I said, for religious reasons. So what are the problems, or at least the critiques with this system overall? That there can be a lack of regulation, because of course this is not addressed or overseen by the England itself, by the England system of law, and this can create some kind of discrepancy that it's never that good. Then the woman's right, they can be of course taken in lesser consideration compared to the man rights, because it's still the Sharia law. I don't have to explain this. And this is also a problem about the social pressure issues, because even if a woman doesn't have to follow these rules, if she lives in a community where everyone takes into account what the Sharia tribunal say, then they have to respect that if they want to be part of that community. And this again can be not that bad for their rights. Of course, they cannot dictate over criminal cases. So if someone does something very bad, they have no voice about that. And again, it's based on the voluntary participation. That means that they decide to do it by themselves, and no one is forcing them. That's why the England cannot do anything about that, okay, because it's their decision. If I go to my grandma and she say you have to give all your money to your girlfriend for this reason, I'm free to do it. No one can can object to this. That's why at the end is taken into, it's legally allowed. What is my opinion, my unpopular opinion about that? Actually, I'm not against that. Like, if you want, of course, I think that the less the religion is involved in how a country is run, for me, it's for the best. Okay, so I don't like that the religion is getting involved so much into the law itself. But at the end, if you want to create it's not that different from a church where the priest is telling you that you don't have to divorce because Jesus doesn't want. So it's not that different from me. But the fact that at the end they work as a kind of a tribunal, this can affect the society, maybe not now, but in the long term, it can be a problem for me. In any case, everyone is free to do what they want. Thank you for following me and see you very soon.